Hello there. My name is Jacob Valentine, also known as Prof. Sir, and today I'd like to pitch my idea for what could be the biggest and best project that Glitch Productions has ever worked on. According to wordsrated.com, more than 70% of everything that Hollywood has ever made was an adaptation of a book. Recently, in Glitch's latest video, where they went over their future, what they're working on currently, and what their hopes are for the future, they mentioned that they love overcoming challenges, tackling things that are new to them and overcoming them in a way that allows them to learn and grow not only as a business, but as creatives. And we've seen Glitch Productions do that over the years. Murder Drones was innovative for a number of reasons, bringing them away from motion capture animation to full-fledged 3D animation. The Amazing Digital Circus has broken boundaries in so many ways, gaining a following the likes of which I don't think Glitch ever thought they could reach. And then of course the Gaslight District is a visual masterpiece, reminiscent in a lot of ways of claymation style movies. And then of course Knights of Guinevere, their very first 2D animated show, has broken records all on its own. All of this is to say that Glitch Productions knows what they're doing. They understand the animation market, they understand the entertainment sphere, and they're more than ready to take on the challenge of adapting American Nexus, the complete series. A series that I developed over the last 6 years, and which has been recently published and received glowing reviews from everyone that's cracked it open. I, today, would like to propose what I believe would be the perfect pilot episode to an American Nexus series. Now, before I get into that, I want to emphasize why I'm picking Glitch Productions to pitch this idea to specifically. Glitch Productions, according to Social Blade, received more than 500,000 new subscribers last month alone. 500,000! That is a massive following. And when I say that American Nexus can elevate that number even further, I'm not kidding. American Nexus is that good. It's got that much potential, and if anybody can properly adapt it, it's the folks over at Glitch. Now, American Nexus is a satire at its core. It's a dystopian fantasy adventure where a main character goes to another world, but things do not go according to plan. Satire.info claims that, when talking about satire itself, they tend to be, quote, modern parody, reflective of a world drowning in content and craving a laugh at its absurdity, end quote. American Nexus is absolutely that. And as you'll see as I go into the pitch, it really is a story that anyone, anywhere can jump into and absolutely enjoy. Picture this. James Rita is your standard nerdy college student. He wants nothing more than to finish his schoolwork so he can come back to his dorm, build his little bio figures, and enjoy his favorite anime models while watching his favorite cartoons. That's all the guy really wants out of life. But, as always, life tends to get in the way. His overly friendly roommates are constantly inviting him to parties and other events, checking in on him and encouraging him to be more social. But James wants none of it. In fact, by the conclusion of the first couple chapters, James tells himself, anywhere. I want to be anywhere but here. Well, James gets his wish. Before he even realizes what's happening, a portal opens beneath him, and soon enough he's falling into another world. Except instead of a medieval fantasy setting like he was hoping for, where he's told he has to defeat the Demon King and save the world, instead he finds himself in the Oval Office, opposite of an ugly purple witch who informs him that he is now the next president of those United States. And oh boy, the timing could not be worse. Shortly after James assumes his new role and position, DC is attacked, but not by any normal human force, no. Instead, what swarms over the entire District of Columbia is an unending horde of mutant animal hybrids that are bent on carrying out their Dark Master's wishes. The Master in question? A blood dragon, whose chief officers, known as trolls, soon swarm into the entire White House. Now, trolls in American Nexus are different from your standard fantasy trolls. Instead of the large, ugly-looking monstrosities that carry clubs, trolls in American Nexus are very well dressed. They carry themselves with the utmost level of pride because they were made in the dragon's image. Their yellow, scaly skin seems to radiate heat, and when they straighten their ties, you know they mean business. And unfortunately, James finds himself standing right across from the worst of the worst that the trolls have to offer. This is a pivotal moment in the story because up until this point, James has been pretty sure of himself. If he were to find himself in another world, then absolutely he would be a hero. He'd step up to the occasion. Of course, there's no question. But now that he's here with his back literally against the wall and the world literally crumbling around him, does James really have what it takes to tackle the challenges that have been placed before him? Is he really capable of being the hero that the world needs? All of these questions and more are answered over the course of the story, and I won't spoil any more of what I'd like to see from a pilot episode, but rest assured, there will be everything that you would expect from a satire of anime tropes. We've got magic, we've got beautiful companions, giant robots fighting giant monsters, and of course, plenty of violence. But that's not what American Nexus is. At its core, it's a fun, enhancing story, even uplifting in some ways. And the best joke in the entire thing is that despite its name and setting, there's nothing political about it whatsoever. That in and of itself is more than enough to get people interested. And like I mentioned before, the people that have read American Nexus have absolutely loved it. I believe that if Glitch were to adapt American Nexus, the complete series, they would not only see an increase in their audience, they would be able to tackle a challenge that their indie animation studio has never faced before. The good news is, I'm here, and the story is already written. Everything's laid out, all we have to do is elaborate on what's given. I really appreciate your time, and I hope that if anybody from Glitch is actually watching, you take the time to message me at my email listed on screen. If you'd like to check out American Nexus the complete series on your own, there's a direct link in the description where you can read the first 7 chapters for free. Just click the Read Sample button beneath the cover. Above all else, American Nexus is a passion project. It's a story that deserves to be brought forward, and it's ready and waiting to be adapted to the big and little screen. Thank you for your time. I will see you all in the next one, and I hope to hear from all of you very, very soon. Bye for now, everybody.